Breaking fast and reaching out. An Egyptian Ramadan is a huge spectacle. Is the holy month a time to fast by day and feast by night? And does the overwhelming spirit of generosity come with strings attached? This is Inside Story. Hello and thanks for joining us for this special series of Inside Story from Cairo. I'm Imran Garda. For 30 days every year, most Egyptians, rich and poor, will fight hunger pangs from sunrise to sunset. At night, some will have simple meals with the family. Some will visit sponsored food tents, while others will enjoy lavish buffets, which even provide entertainment. Indeed, this all indicates a diverse observance, or is it celebration of Ramadan? Well, to help us understand the spirit of Ramadan in Egypt and what it means are our guests, Fadil Suleiman, the director of the Bridges Foundation, an NGO specializing in introducing Islam. Next to him, Hussein Amin, head of the media department at the American University in Cairo. And next to him, Amir Saba, president of the Rotary Club charity Heliopolis, a service organization dedicated to improving people's skills. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We'll be with you very soon. But first, let's have a quick look at what our reporter Nashwa Nasruddin uncovered about the Ramadan experience in Cairo.
Ramadan Kareem! اصحى نايم واحد الدايم! Ramadan Kareem!
It's an hour before dawn, and Aya is waking her family up. It is Ramadan, a month of fasting, and she is preparing them a meal that must last them for the whole day. For Muslims, Ramadan is celebrated for being the month during which the first words of the holy book, the Quran, were revealed.
Everyone waits all year for Ramadan. They want their lanterns and new clothes at the end of the month.
Every day during Ramadan, practicing Muslims abstain from eating, drinking and smoking from dawn until sunset.
Allahu Akbar.
It is a time to focus on religious activities through charity and prayer. But the long Ramadan nights have also become the perfect opportunity for a party. Throughout the month, hotels and cafes are transformed into sophisticated entertainment venues with extended opening hours. But such events only serve to highlight the huge gap between the haves and the have-nots. While some hurry to capitalize on the commercial opportunities on offer, others worry whether there will be food on the table come sunset.
This year Ramadan has come at the same time as the start of the school year, and I have to clothe and feed my daughters. How can people afford all of this? Everything is expensive now. Nothing is cheap, even vegetables. Cucumbers have always been 3 or 4 pounds a kilo. They never reach today's price. I have a limited budget. How is it supposed to cover everything?
With food prices on the rise, Ramadan plays a crucial role in ensuring that everyone has a chance to eat. Thanks to charitable organizations, Egypt's poor can combine fasting with feasting throughout the holy month.
Voluntary groups such as this one have cropped up in recent years to distribute meals to the homes of the needy during Ramadan. Their work is becoming more important in the struggle against a tidal wave of price rises.
This is even more important in the times we are in. We do what little we can to help. Some people save up all their charity money for Ramadan, but the God of Ramadan is the God for the rest of the year too. And those in need don't stand out as much outside of Ramadan. We find it harder to reach them.
And during Ramadan, charity doesn't stop at the home. Daily banquets are hosted in public areas by some who can afford it, for those who really can't. A buffet of free food is laid out before sunset for the iftar, or breaking of fast, and they are more popular than ever.
We've been hosting these banquets for 20 years. Things were very different then. Prices have risen all over the world. Today we can see the need in people's eyes. This is why we started to send food and clothes to their homes. Many of them are too ashamed to show that they are in need, and at first glance may seem fine.
As night falls, Cairo comes alive as both rich and poor sit down to eat, displaying a unity that epitomizes the spirit of Ramadan.
One of the functions of Ramadan is to increase solidarity and brotherhood between those in need and those who are better off. It's not only about feeding those who are fasting.
These free banquets are a lifeline for the majority of people here today. Most of them live on less than $2 a day. But as prices continue to soar, it's difficult to tell how much longer people can even afford to be charitable. Nashwa Nasruddin for Inside Story in Cairo.
Fascinating report there. Let's get into the discussion here. Fadil Suleiman, you saw that report there. The essence of what Ramadan is meant to be, do you think it's still alive in Egypt?
Ramadan in Egypt is very special. It has a very special taste than Ramadan anywhere else. And as you said, rich and poor, they suffer hunger pangs from dawn till dusk, but they also suffer overeating pangs from dusk till dawn, even the poor. And this is what's very special, because the poor, some poor, they overeat in Ramadan, but they starve all through the year. And this is what's very special in Egypt, that a lot of wealthy people, they go out and they spread food banquets for what they call it Mawa'id al-Rahman, or al-Rahman banquets, the banquets of the most gracious, for the poor, who starve later on during the rest of the year. And this is what really troubles me sometimes. I find that there's a problem with the process of collection and spending the donations from that are donated by the rich.
Hussein Amin, would you agree with that, that there's this problem with spending the donations?
Yes, of course, but I just want to add that it's a holy month where the concept of charity and sharing, the rich are sharing the feelings of the poor, the hunger, and therefore there is a kind of a spiritual dimension to this. I just want to, some intervening variable over here that we must admit that is causing this gap, which is the food crisis that is happening worldwide. And this is the impact of the food crisis is mainly affecting the poor, getting the poorer in a way. So that's why the gap is widening during the months of Ramadan. But I think also that the poor we won't find the poor, the really poor are not really in Cairo as a city, or Alexandria. The poor, you will find them in southern Egypt, near Aswan, or all the villages. You will find really the poor people where this particular problem occurs, because they can't find the means to access the food to the families. And therefore we see some efforts, and we need to recognize these efforts, by the food bank trying to create databases for the poor in order to have this food access to them.
Amir Saba, are those efforts enough?
Rotary is a service organization, although we have a program for poverty and hunger. When we talk about poor people and feeding them, we believe instead of giving a charity to the people, because charity to the people will give a good feeling to the people, whether you can cover that perpetually or on a daily basis. Instead of that, we live in capacity building. We want to give the people a tool by which they can go and earn a living and have a better life, and doesn't go and extend his hand for food, whether during Ramadan or during the other years the other months of the year.
Fadil Suleiman mentioned those Ma'idat Rahman, or those tents, Ramadan tents for charity. Are many of them donated or done for the right reasons?
I would say no, not for the right reasons. Some of them for the right reasons. The other is just for social status.
How worrying is that?
It's a social disorder.
Fadil Suleiman, your opinion?
Let me just add the Egyptian Food Bank, which is the biggest organization now in giving food to the poor, and there are 400 local organizations cooperating with them, franchising to them. They are reaching 250,000 only.
Yes.
Out of 17 million, which is the official number.
Yeah.
And here there is really a problem. There is a problem. And we should deal with it. And you know what? There are, every charity holds an annual fundraiser in which they motivate the donors to donate to them what they use for their year-long activities. I think Ramadan is this annual fundraiser. And Dr. Niazi Salam, by the way, he admitted that the most of the donations comes in Ramadan.
Sorry to come in there. About those tents, some of them not being done for the right reasons.
Well, I can't know what is in the hearts of people. Some of them are to show off and some not. We need to forget that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that whoever offers iftar to a fasting person gets rewarded for his fasting exactly as this fasting person gets rewarded from Allah. So many people want to offer iftar to the fasting people, whether rich or poor, so as to get reward from Allah. Mm-hmm. There is also another tradition by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that he said that when a fasting person breaks his fast, his supplication to Allah, his prayers are acceptable. Allah responds to his supplications. Also, many rich people offer iftar to those people, wishing that they pray for them or something.
Hussein, I mean, yes. What about wastage?
Yes.
I mean, is it not ironic and maybe even embarrassing, given the fact that in Ramadan, a month of fasting, you have so much surplus food and a lot of it gets wasted at the tables of the rich?
Very much so, and it's a problem. And for the first time, there is a campaign, a televised campaign against wasting food. And I think that this is a right step, because we see a lot of people are wasting food. Not only, and this will talk about families, maybe middle, upper class, elite kind of families. But also we see a lot of hotels when you have this incredible banquets, and we see this throwing the food immediately after, and they're thinking what's going to offer next. This campaign is really affecting many of the people where really the poor are in tremendous need of this food. So when they play on their emotions, therefore the message gets across. And we see this televised and sponsored by the Ministry for Social Solidarity, and is having an impact. The frequency and the kind of messages that maybe complement this message, I think that it should have an impact on wasting food during the months of Ramadan, because I think that we need such campaigns. We need to make the people aware of this kind of a problem, wasting food during the months of Ramadan, and also the kind of food that is showing on television in this big banquets. It's really causing a problem with the poor, because especially with satellite penetration right now in households, you see advertising for pet food on the people who cannot find food for their children.
Okay, gentlemen, don't go away. It's time for a short break. We'll be back with more on the other side of this. Stay with us here on Inside Story.